please connect with me on LinkedIn to check out what I'm passionate about and explore whether there might be ways that we can find synergies together. I'll just briefly mention one, BCM Industries, which is basically repairing organs by taking biopsies from the patient's diseased organ and then inserting healthy, mature organ tissue, which causes explosive healing. Really fascinating stuff. You can check out the website there, or like I said, check it out through LinkedIn. So today, I want to address a specific aspect of collective and cultural mental health related to creativity and innovation. Because I believe one of the impacts of the pandemic, and arguably also the so-called new normal post-pandemic, with everyone working remotely, will be a reduction in innovation. The best innovation happens when you build a wide funnel. I prefer to think of it as a tornado, where the only bad ideas are the ones that get away. And then, of course, you swirl, you create churn, you create creative conflict, argument, discussion, people engaging in creative debate, killing ideas, rebirthing them as new ideas, and essentially not wasting resources on ideas that aren't ultimately going to go anywhere anyway and become the gold bricks of business model innovation. So, as I said, my research and my feel for things based on my network and my connections is that there's already been a drop in the quality and quantity of innovation due to the reduced in-person contact caused by the pandemic. And I predict this will continue in the new normal unless specific steps are taken. So I know that Zoom and others will argue that there's just as much contact now, maybe even more. But it's not about quantity, it's about quality. Zoom and other online meeting formats don't easily enable the same spontaneity of in-person interactions. In fact, boardroom meetings and anything overly structured is not what's needed. It's the chat over the coffee or less formal ways of interacting that are best for capturing and swirling ideas. So impassioned discussions and arguments are much less likely to happen in online meetings, and there's also very little spontaneous personal interaction or relationship building. And weaker relationships means lower trust, less willingness to be vulnerable, fear of creative conflict, therefore artificial harmony, and ultimately poor results and stifled innovation. In case you think I'm plugging Pat's book here, I'm not really. I'd rather shamelessly plug my own book, which shares my experiences from the Innovation Lab and from various commercialization initiatives, innovations in corporate environments. But even the best strategies will fail if the culture is wrong, because culture literally eats strategy for breakfast. If the post-pandemic normal continues with disengaged, remote, less collaborative workforces, the problem, Gartner points out, will become even worse. To use the rowing metaphor, instead of 3 active rowers going in the right direction, 1 underminer and 5 along for the ride, we'll be headed toward an even less engaged, motivated, and switched on culture. And don't misunderstand me, I'm not saying we should get everyone back in the office, because cubicle workers are no more engaged and no more likely to innovate than Zoom workers, if I could call them that. It's more important to get people to go for walks together, have lunch in a park, play racquetball, go for a beer, because as we all know, over 80% of Google's successful commercialization comes from their 20% investment in employees not doing their jobs. It's about getting out of the box of your office, right? Getting out of the box of your company, getting out of the box of your business paradigm, and even your own head and psychological makeup. So my message is get out there, not doing your job, not sitting in a cubicle, not staring at a screen. Start having fun outside the box, arguing, generating, rejecting, and developing ideas. That and consciously embracing innovation strategy is what we all need to get back to being innovation leaders. So thank you.